is there just kind of a sense maybe in the locker room that like some of the success you've had over the last week could prove to be your big breakthrough or kind of maybe a turning point for you guys for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all feeling good. I think the energy's high. Really good win in Minnesota. Had a chance to celebrate together. I think that only helps our chemistry. You know, all that stuff off the court definitely fuels us. We're having fun with each other. We're having fun together playing. So I think it is. I think this is a good moment for us. And, you know, especially we're playing without one of our best players. So to do that in those circumstances, we're really just proud of ourselves.
The Las Vegas Aces, widely known as the self-proclaimed unstoppable dynasty of the WNBA, were just brought back down to earth, and the whole basketball world saw it happen. A 27-point beatdown. Check A'ja Wilson, receiving every favorable call imaginable, yet still managing to fall flat. Big check. Chelsea Gray, whom some irrationally argue is superior to Caitlin Clark, disappearing when her team needed her the most. That's the biggest check of all, while A'ja was out there dragging players to the floor from behind and somehow avoiding fouls. An Indianapolis squad was busy delivering a lesson in what true team-first, high-Q basketball really looks like.
Indiana Fever just beat the Aces. The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old.
Because that 81-54 clinic the Indiana Fever delivered wasn't just a loss for Vegas, it was a statement. A glowing neon billboard, blazing in bright fever red, declared that no amount of referee handouts, no stat-padding heroics from Wilson, and absolutely none of the Dynasty hype would be enough to save them when Indiana chose to lock in and play truly connected, intelligent basketball.
And A'ja Wilson, my God, you see how many free throws that lady have? Oh my God, on the stat sheet, she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man. And without Caitlin Clark.
Now let's zoom in on the moment this showdown really got heated. In the third quarter, Lexi Hull, who's been a shining example of grit and growth all season, boxed out Wilson with such precision. It could have been pulled straight. From a coaching manual, she carved out space, positioned her body perfectly, and grabbed that rebound like she's done 1,000 times in practice. Textbook execution. But then came A'ja Wilson from behind, literally reaching over shoulders and arms, clawing for the ball in a move so obvious, it belongs in a what not to do highlight reel. Ask anyone who's watched even a single AAU game and they'll tell you that's an over-the-back foul. Indiana ball. Play on. Case closed. But the refs, oh no, they decided to rewrite the rulebook right there on live TV. All logic, they called it a jump ball, as if Wilson was equally entitled to that rebound after bulldozing Hull from behind.
Was a big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark. This team is crazy. They are beating the #1 team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally developing a rhythm.
Even the broadcast crew couldn't hide their shock. Their commentary shifted between stunned silence and uneasy chuckles as they tried to make sense of what was happening. The contact was obvious. The violation couldn't have been clearer. Yet, somehow, the officials chose to neutralize the moment in a way that outright rewarded the player who committed the foul. But here's where it gets downright poetic. The Indiana Fever didn't crumble or sulk. They didn't let shaky officiating derail their momentum. Instead, they shrugged it off, tightened their laces, and went on to absolutely dismantle the Aces so thoroughly that every questionable call became utterly irrelevant. Now, let's break down exactly how Indiana transformed what could have been a momentum shift for Vegas into a one-sided showcase of beautiful basketball.
Everyone's coming in with a level of focus every day, just right now knowing that, we do have a target on our backs and making sure that we're locked in on everything we're doing in practice. But I think we're taking that energy that we have, that fun, that lightheartedness into practice, because at the end of the day, this is a game. We want to have fun, and I think we play our best basketball when we're playing free and having fun and being joyful and playing together.
From the opening quarter, Indiana came out in full attack mode. They rattled off the first 6 points and just kept swinging. By the end of the first, they led 21-4. Already, you could feel the game slipping away from Vegas. Indiana shot nearly 53%, held the Aces to under 29%, and dominated them 16-4 in paint points. Right then and there, it was clear this wasn't going to be the Aces' crowning night. But it was in the second quarter that the Fever went for the jugular. They outscored Vegas 25-10. That's not a typo, 25-10. Indiana shot a jaw-dropping 82% from the field, while Vegas clanked their way to just 24%. The Fever went to perfect 6-4-6 in the paint. The Aces, a miserable 3-13. By halftime, it was 46-24. And let's be honest, game over. That controversial jump ball, it came right when Vegas desperately needed a miracle to claw back. The refs essentially tossed them a bonehanding over a possession they didn't earn and giving them a shot to shift the momentum. For the Fever, it was one of those dreaded moments, so, boy, here we go again. You could almost feel the quiet frustration. Lexi Hull did everything right, textbook. Fundamental basketball, and still didn't get the call. Those are the kinds of moments that can rattle young teams, especially when you're facing a decorated opponent like the Aces. For Vegas, that gift from the refs was a desperate gasp of oxygen. Down big and searching for any spark, they were suddenly handed a 50-50th ball that was anything but fair. And for a fleeting moment, it looked like maybe, just maybe, the officiating might start propping up the defending champs. But Indiana wasn't having it. The lead ballooned 268-247 heading into the fourth. In that final quarter, it was pure humiliation. The Aces managed just 7 points in the entire period. That's not professional offense. That's a complete systems meltdown. The 81-54 final score almost flatters Las Vegas. The truth is, Indiana dismantled them piece by piece.
Yes, let's get a dub column. Great job. We held them to 26% from the floor. Nice. 1, 2, 3.
And we have to pause for a moment and talk about A'ja Wilson's so-called big game. Sure, she poured in 29 points on 9 of -18 shooting and lived at the line, going 11 for -13. On paper, that's superstar-level production until you realize she attempted nearly as many free throws as the entire Indiana roster combined. The whistles were so friendly, they might as well have come gift-wrapped. And yet, despite all that help from the officials, the so-called best player in the world still finished 27 points in the hole.
She got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for A'ja Wilson, 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10, Dana Evans. Oh my God.
Just pause and let that sink in. The league's crown jewel put up a flashy stat line, and it meant absolutely nothing because the rest of the Aces looked completely lost. Chelsea Gray disappeared for the entire game, and the Indiana Fever played like a team on a mission to burn the Dynasty narrative to the ground. Through it all, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, and the Fever weren't just executing a game plan, they were rewriting the league's power structure on live television. Lexi Hull didn't let that blown call define her night. She doubled down, hunted rebounds with a vengeance, and made A'ja fight for every single inch. Caitlin Clark, the conductor in the show, spaced the floor and launched fast breaks that left the Aces spinning.
I don't know about frustrations boiling over as more to just like making a point. Well, Caitlin said she got me though, so. One more though. She just got a bonus.
And by bonus, she was meaning the Commissioner's Cup bonus, which was $49 or $43,000 per player, because the prize pool was $500,000. And apparently, Steph White just was pissed about the officiating. I don't know if it was A'ja Wilson's whistle or...
So, let's break down the brutal reality for the so-called Dynasty in Las Vegas. Outside of A'ja Wilson's 9-for-18 shooting night, the rest of the Aces combined to shoot a dismal 7-for-43 from the field. That's a laughable 16.3% clip from literally everyone else on the roster. Not a single other ace even cracked 6 points. Let that sink in for a moment. This is a team hyped for its unmatched depth, and yet their MVP candidate was basically left playing 1-on-5, while her vanished like Houdini under the Fever's relentless pressure.
I said the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to will the Aces back in, and Lexi stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already, and in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And you see her. You see her just losing it up here. Losing it. And she got teed up right there. And Caitlin Clark loved.
Now, speaking of the supporting cast that was supposed to step up, we take a moment to talk about Chelsea Gray. Because this is the same Chelsea Gray that some folks claim is somehow better than Caitlin Clark. Well, the box score tells a very different far less flattering story. Gray finished her night with just 2 measly points on 1 of -3 shooting, handed out only 2 assists, and piled up 5 ugly turnovers. That's right, 2 points. This is the seasoned floor general who's supposed to orchestrate the offense and elevate everyone around her. Instead, she looked like she was slogging through mud while the Fever's swarming defense gobbled up every sloppy pass and forced mistake after mistake.
With more turnovers than points and assists combined. More turnovers than points and assists combined. We got point guard, aka point fraud. And remember, this is probably who the WNBA player said was also better than Caitlin Clark. They said I'm pretty confident they said she was better than Caitlin.
Meanwhile, let's pivot to what Caitlin Clark was doing from the bench. Mind you, while Chelsea Gray was out on the floor contributing absolutely nothing, Clark was lighting up the sideline, energizing teammates, and leading with her voice. Even while injured, the cameras kept catching her fired up, leaping out of her seat after big plays, and staying locked in on every possession. That's leadership you can't teach. That's the kind of presence that makes a team believe in. When you're not logging a single minute, Clark may not have been padding her stat line, but she was absolutely impacting, winning,